Actor Jussie Smollett was indicted Tuesday for a second time on charges of lying to police about a racist and anti-gay attack he allegedly staged on himself in downtown Chicago, renewing a divisive criminal case that drew worldwide attention last year. The indictment came from a special prosecutor who was appointed after Cook County prosecutors dropped the same charges last March. The new charges were sure to reignite many of the tensions that surrounded Smollett a year ago. Here to talk more, joining us from Charlotte, North Carolina, is Roger Green. Roger, first of all, let me just say I am a fan of Empire and that I absolutely miss seeing Jussie Smollett on that show. And so this was definitely something that was in my timeline, in my threads, something that I paid attention to last year. And now we're back at it. Give us some insight on what's going on.
Jesse, oh Jesse, oh Jesse. It's just a bizarre story from the beginning. I remember like it was yesterday, a year ago, when this story came, there was an outcry of sympathy and support for Jesse, all to find out that it might have been staged and not even true. A lot of the developments with him even paying the gentleman that supposedly, attacked him to stage this, in some sort of political demonstration to come against our current president. It's just an amazing story. The interesting thing about it is, they're new charges, but they're not new instances to the charges. And what I mean by that is when they charged him initially, they didn't go through with it. They dropped the charges, which allowed them to come back here and pick up where they left off. And it's just a bizarre story.
It's absolutely a bizarre story. I think it's one that has definitely been difficult to follow. I think that we were bipolar in our emotions last year, going from left to right. Oh my gosh, what happened? Is this true? And now we're back at this with a new prosecutor who, I think that there's anger in Chicago. It seems to be about the amount of resources that they put towards this case and the amount of hours that they put towards it.
Well, having worked with law professionals, whether it's cops or judges or attorneys, they don't like to be made a fool of. So with all of the resources that was given, all the national media and worldwide media attention that was given, because, this was viewed almost like a civil rights issue. Not only is he an African American gentleman, but also a gay gentleman. So, there were a lot of ramifications. No one wanted to mess this case up. So when, you make them look silly like that, everybody, I think, has an axe to grind. Also adding the political dynamic, the state attorney's office is up for grabs now, so that there's much speculation that this might even be politically driven, with it being a year after its initial charges. Why bring it up now, into this cycle, this heavy and hot contested election cycle? So there's a lot of dynamics that go into play when we look at this story.
Yeah, the whole situation with it coming into the political arena is just another layer of this story that is absolutely bizarre. Jussie Smollett is facing 6 felony counts of disorderly conduct, charges that stem from 4 separate false reports that he gave to police in which he contended he was a victim of a hate crime. And they're saying that he knew that he was not a victim of the crime. This has raised questions about county prosecutors' decisions that, when they dropped the charges initially, and then now we have found ourselves, Roger, again back here on this same thing. Where do you think that this is going to go from here?
I think it's very hard to tell right now. They're not even sure how much time he could possibly even be facing if these charges actually stick to him. Initially, they were saying that he could have received either from a range from a range from 1 year to 3 years worth of time, or probation. But now they're saying they don't even know fully what he would get if these charges were to stick. So I think we still have some time to kind of see what's going to happen. They had a strong case initially, and just out of nowhere, the charges got dropped. So a lot of people were angry about that. There were speculations that they were linked to an aide from former President Obama and Vice President. And it's just a lot of dynamics that play, a lot of layers, as you forestated, with this particular case.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's going to be interesting to see how social media and fans and the creative environment grab hold of this and how they respond to it. Because honestly, I think, Roger, it was a story that many had just went ahead and forgot about. It happened last year. We hadn't heard anything else about it, and now it's back into play. So, going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Roger Green, always a great conversation with you. Thank you for sharing insight today.
It's always my pleasure talking with you, Michi.